WGPR Detroit HD2.
You're watching WHPS, Highland Park, Detroit. The views and opinions expressed on the following show are not necessarily the views and opinions of WHPS, its affiliates, management, or sponsors.
You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones and This is the Talk Beat Jones, and young lady, would you tell them who you are?
My name
Get in that microphone.
Leela Stovall. I am the event expert.
The event expert. Miss, what is it that a event expert, what is it they do? What is the value?
Well, in my instance, I consider myself an expert. I've been
Gotta
in
get that
business
microphone.
for about 15 years, and I have done all kind of events. And when you think events, what are you thinking? I'm thinking birthday parties, milestone birthday parties, baby showers. Unfortunately, repast services, we do those as well. So just a barrage of events, things that people celebrate and invite guests to.
So why would I need someone to show me how to do an event?
Well, in my expert opinion, I believe that help is needed when doing an event because there are a lot of moving parts. There are vendors and venues and budgets and all kinds of things that have to be coordinated simultaneous for it to be a good event.
So how can you help me? You know, let me say this. When it comes to the tables, is there certain things that I should look for in terms of so I don't look like I'm just totally a caveman?
Well, you know, that's a separate situation when one sits down for dinner. There is generally silverware and tablewares in front of you, and that's at a restaurant or at events that I set up. I try to do a full place setting, so I try to have, you know, things that we aren't necessarily familiar with because generally we just use a fork. But when you're at a table and it has a full table setting, there's often your salad, your dinner fork, sometimes a cake fork, and several other pieces of silverware that we aren't often familiar with. When people come in and they get a setup from us, we give them a full setup, even if they just use the fork.
Now, you know, when you talk about a fork, now I'm a type of person, I get kind of just like there's a big fork and a little fork. Why?
The salad fork is first, and generally a rule of thumb to
What does it,
remember.
and can you describe what it looks like? Because, yeah.
I know you're putting me on the spot. I'm not sure. Okay, so a salad fork, like he was saying, is smaller, and generally it's first. So your table settings are usually placed from left to right in the order in which you pick them up. So your salad fork would be first, and that would be if you were having a cold salad, shrimp salad, which is a different fork that they bring separately. If
It's
it
a
is
little
shrimp,
bitty small fork.
it's a little bitty small fork. So shrimp salad is shrimp fork is different, but generally the salad fork will do. So your salad fork would be first. It usually has 3 prongs. Your dinner fork would be a lot larger. It usually has 4 prongs, and then there would be your plate and so forth. And then on the right side, you would have your knife and spoons. Soup spoon, if you're having soup, would be there. So it's a lot of different pieces.
Now, when you say a soup full spoon, there are different spoons that's placed on the table as well. How do I know which is the spoon for soup and which is the spoon for what?
Well, a soup spoon is larger. It's a large round type shape, which is distinctive and generally only placed in your setup if you're having soup. If you're
Okay.
not having soup, it won't be there.
Okay.
So it'll be just a traditional teaspoon if you have a regular silverware setup.
Now, if I want to do Is this something that just anybody basically can just say, okay, I'm having a big party and I'm going to put this together myself. I'm going to go out and get me some tablecloths and some spoons and knives, forks and whatever, and put them on the table, and we're going to have a grand old time. Is that the way it should be done, or how should it be done with some style?
Well, people don't necessarily think they need any help. They have an idea. I'm turning 50. I'm having a baby shower. And they have this idea to have an event, and they don't think they need any help. They look at Instagram or Pinterest or those kinds of platforms, and they say, "Oh, I want to do this," but they have no idea that how many different aspects of creating that party are in there. And I think everyone needs to at least consult with a professional to find out if they're on the right track. And one thing that's important is a budget. You have an idea of what you're going to do, but you need to know how much it's going to cost. You're going to need to know what vendors you need. You need to know their availability, their cost. So just saying, "Ooh, I want to have a party," is a great idea, but executing that party to look the way it does in that Pinterest or Instagram picture requires some help.
Now, for those persons who are just tuning in, family, this is the Talk Beat Jones. Again, I am Billy Jones. Would you let them know who you are again, please?
My name is Leela Stovall, and I am the event expert. I have a show that comes on every second and fourth Sunday at 10 o'clock, and I give all
Here.
kinds of tidbits right here at TV 33. I give all kinds of tidbits of information on how to host an amazing party.
You also have space to hold those events. Would you talk about that, please?
I do. I have a couple of event spaces. It depends on what you're doing. I will be glad at any time to show you any of them, but I have one out in Farmington Hills, and that's at 30640 West 8 Mile Road.
Wait, 30, what was that?
30640 West 8 Mile Road. That's near Middle Belt in the city of Farmington Hills, and it's a micro venue. And when I say micro, it holds about 45 people comfortably. So if you're having a dinner party, something for Christmas, something for New Year's, a small intimate party, you want to propose, want to have a dinner for two for your special loved one, you can do it all in that small micro space. It doesn't hold a lot of people, and it's almost one room, but we decorate it really nice, full drapery, beautiful embellished linen, those tableswares that he was talking about. We add those with some centerpieces, and we create the magic you're looking for. And again, that one holds about 45 people. And then we have a larger space that's over on Orchard Lake Road in Farmington, and that's at 23327 Orchard Lake Road. And that is Farmington, and that one holds about 140 people. It's a nice space. You can come in, do your thing, Suite 16, 50th, 39th, 27th. We do full decor. You can always bring your own decor in, which is your tablecloths and centerpieces and those things, but you can also rent them from us.
Tell us, what is it that makes the event? People say, I went to a place and this was so cool. Everything was just bam. What? And also, if I need your help, how can I get in touch with you? Would you give me that a couple, two or three times, please?
Okay, you can always reach the event expert. My name again is Leela, and I've been in the industry about 15 years, and I can be reached at 313-743-1574. Again, that's 313-743-1574.
Tell me, what brought you to become an event planner?
Well, that's complicated.
Welcome to Talk Beat Jones.
Right. So I grew up in my mom didn't raise me. Mr. Jones only knows so much about me. I'm a licensed therapist for the state of Michigan as well.
Didn't know.
And my mom was sick. But all while I was in school, my mom didn't raise me because she was sick. And I was raised by an aunt who owned a flower shop, and I fell in love with flowers and decorating and things from her. And I would help with weddings and create flowers and tie bows. So I always had a love for the industry anyway. But I went to school for therapy, and all while I was in school, I was still building my business. So I've been doing this for a while, and I have come to discover that I love this almost more than I do mental health. I know that sounds funny, but I think that it's connected in some kind of way. I like bringing people joy. I wasn't a joyous kid because my mom was sick.
Yes.
And I like people coming into my shop saying, I want this, A, B, and C, and me creating it, and just seeing the amazement on their face when they walk in and it's what they wanted.
Is there a difference in terms of folks who says that I know what I want, I just don't want to do it, I want you to do it, but I know what I want and here's how we want to do it, as opposed to a person who says, look, I'm putting myself in your hands. I don't know anything about it. I want to do a surprise. I got my woman, my lady, my wife, and I want to do a surprise for them, for her, I should say, for the one person. And can you help me so that when she comes out that night, and of course I got my friends invited, and I don't know anything about how to do that. Can you help me?
I think that when guys, now don't get it twisted, when guys call me, they sometimes needs help. I don't know which way to go. They sometimes need help with creating an event. But I have had grooms and spouses and boyfriends come in who are very clear about what they wanted. They just didn't know how to execute it. They needed a place that was safe, a place that had a really nice look. Like they already had a picture in their mind of what they wanted to see. So I can appreciate someone who has some foresight on what they want, just needing my expert help on how to execute it. But I also get a few type A personality individuals who want something very specific, which is often complicated for me because I'm a designer. So you come in and you say, I want this blue bow right here, but if I put the blue bow right here, does it make a difference? And so when I have someone who is dead set on something very specific, those events don't always turn out as wonderful as I want because the person has one idea in mind that might not be realistic in real life and opposed to what I can create. So when I do a consult and I have that kind of client, we kind of talk through it and I decide if it's a good fit. I don't take all parties. I don't take all the money that comes through the door because sometimes it's a train wreck in the end because if someone has an idea or they're dead set on this specific thing and I know I can't execute it exactly that way, I have to be very transparent and let them know that this might not work.
Sometimes all money is not good money.
This is true.
Now, is there something specific that training-wise that I can help my family inside the home understand how to have some etiquettes about going out?
Well, I'm not sure. You know, we're in a day and age where, you know, I'm a older lady. I'll be turning, I don't know what older means, but to me,
You're a
I'm
young
older.
baby. Come on now.
I'll be celebrating my 50th birthday next year. I'm planning a grand bang smash for myself, but
Did you say you're going to be 50?
I'll be 50 next year in June.
Excuse me. She's not even, come on now, 50?
It makes me feel like I'm older, like I've done so many things in my life, but to answer your question.
Will somebody please call in and tell this young lady that she has yet to even had time to live? I mean, the beauty of a woman is when you're able to take yourself and see the time comes along and you're just feeling good with yourself, you're doing the right things, you're looking beautiful, you're getting sexier as you get time. Oh, let me stop. Go ahead, please.
So, I think I lost my train of thought on your question after all those wonderful compliments. What did you ask me?
It was concerning about trying to see if I can have something that I can teach my family at home about the etiquettes.
So, you know, like I said, I feel like I'm older. I used to read, I told Mr. Jones a couple of weeks ago, I used to read Miss Manners and look for specific etiquettes, and I had a desire to learn. But I think that my young ladies who are having children, it starts in the home, and this is kind of the mental health component too. We're a product of our environment. So if you have young children in the house, teaching them good practices is important because they take those things into adulthood. So simple things like teaching them how to eat with silverware is good. Teaching them to say thank you and please and you're welcome. Those are etiquettes and behaviors that are taught in the home, and if we don't teach our young people those things, our little kids, our teenagers, and so forth, they won't know going into adulthood and they'll think that it's okay. So it's not anything specific that I can think of besides to think of things that maybe grandma taught you or your mother or your great-grandmother. Watch a YouTube video if you need some help with etiquette. You know, that's the best I can think of because in my home, fortunately for me, we learned. I was taught, and what I didn't learn, I had a desire to seek more information, but everybody doesn't do that, and everybody thinks they know. And based on some of my parties after the fact, it's been a train wreck. Silverware did things on the floor, garbage on the. That's a mess. And then I have other events, and I had one the other day. A grandmother was there, and she said, "We're not leaving here until it's clean." They helped me put chairs away, tablecloths were off, dishes in the kitchen, just what I always want. And I charge people a cleanup fee, but that doesn't mean that. They don't get that money's worth out of that cleanup fee because they just make a mess, and it just shows that they just don't know any better.
Now, tell us again, how long have you been doing event planning?
15 years.
15 years, okay. And out of the 15 years, what has given you the greatest pleasure in terms of helping small events or larger events, or how does it tickle you?
I still think it's the execution of the event, because again, someone comes with a picture or they come with an idea and they have no idea how to put it together. So I think, and I miss it a lot because I set up the event and then I leave the space. But years ago, I would go to other people's venues and set them up, and now people come to my venues, but I still never see the surprise on their face. Very rarely. I usually do my job and then I leave. But I think that the thanks that I get afterwards. They don't give me a review like I want. They won't do that. But once they see me in that event towards the end when it's cleanup time or whatever, they always thank me. They're so gracious for me being able to bring their idea to life, because people don't always trust. They come, they give you the idea, they've seen my pictures, they know I have good referrals, they know I can do the job, but they still have a little bit of untrust that it'll be executed the way they want. So for them to see it is always the best part of the job.
Now, what size venues, what is from the smallest numbers do you take to consider being a paid event that you should work with? What size? You have an event up to 45 people in one venue. That venue, is it set for 45 and less?
It's set for 45 and less, but we've squeezed 65 people in there. We had a memorial for a young man who was killed earlier in the year, and his family came together for his birthday, and she squoze 65 people in there. She wanted to use my other venue, and she missed the date. It was booked, but she was able to fit 65 people. We just had to change the configuration of the tables, but we can do as small as 2 or as many to 45 comfortably. We can fit more in there. Don't tell the fire marshal I said more. But we can fit a few more. But generally, 45 means people can still have elbow room. They can be COVID conscious, if you will, have a little space in between people, be able to move around. So if you're having an event, that one is, again, in Farmington Hills, and at 23327 Orchard. Nope, that's the other one. It's 30640 West 8 Mile Road. And like I said, anywhere from 2 people all the way up to 45 is real comfortable. I had a lady call the other day. She's doing a pop-up shop. We do those kinds of things. If you want to teach a class, if you want to do a small corporate event, and as COVID has come in and things have changed, I used to do corporate events all the time where they would be doing networking and different type of team building and those kinds of things. And because of COVID, we're kind of staying away from each other. People aren't doing those anymore. But if you're teaching at home, or you're doing live videos, or you're doing conferences, and you want to get out of your home and do them live somewhere else other than your home, it's a great space to do that. So it's just a multi-use space. It's designed for, if you have a smaller group, it will work. But give me a call and we can talk about it more.
Well, let me ask you, do you have maybe 5 minutes more, maybe? Maybe, okay. Well, tell us again. Right now, it's that time. It's that time people are starting to do things or planning things, or maybe some people at the last minute said, dang it, I should have. But I can call you.
You can call
Can I
me.
still, can you still help folks going into this particular time of the year? Is it too late to get your services?
Oh, Lord. So pet peeve of mine is the last minute.
Okay.
However, I live in the real world. I make money off of people coming in to do an event. And most of the time when people are last minute, it's because they haven't thought about it, or they were thinking about it and couldn't on the fence about what they were doing. And so, of course, I help people at the last minute. I have a Sweet 16 that is on the 23rd that is very last minute, and the young man is coming in today to set up his reservation for his daughter.
Okay.
So people do things at the last minute. They mean well. He apologized immensely. He was at an event I did Saturday, and he was like, "Your place was so pretty and so well decorated. I want to do something for my daughter's Sweet 16, and I know it's the last minute." So people call all the time at the last minute.
Well, that's a wonderful thing. And again, once again, give us your telephone numbers and the exact address of the events, the two places that you have that people have an option to have an event at those places.
Okay. Well, our small event space, the name of my company is Lux Studios. DFR Lux Events is the event brand. Lux Studios is the name of my venues, and our 45-person studio is at 30640 West 8 Mile Road, and that's in Farmington Hills, holds up to 45 people. And our larger space is at 23327 Orchard Lake Road, and that's in Farmington. They're really close together. It holds up to about 140 people. And that's my phone number. I can be reached at 313-743-1574, and I can be found on Instagram and Facebook under DFR Lux, Luxx Events.
I'm sorry, can you give me that telephone number and that last information one more time, because I didn't put it in my mind?
Okay. Well, can be reached at 313-743-1574. And if you want to find me on Instagram or Facebook, I can be found under DFR Lux Events.
Tell me something, before you go, is there something that you would like to reach out for all the audience, because of course we own the Roku, the Amazon, the Apple, and all the other great things, and so we're going around the world, and all of the places can see and hear you. And what message would you reach out and leave them with?
I would tell people that if you're giving an event, give yourself time to plan it, give yourself time to solicit your vendors, your venue, and so forth. I always give people the advice, a year out, even 2 years is an excellent amount of time to start planning. You know you're turning 50 in 2 years. Start planning now so you can have everything you want there. Baby showers are a little different. You only have 9 months to do those. But once you feel comfortable 4 or 5 months out, give that venue person, that expert that you need help from, give them a call. Start asking questions so you're not in shock a month out when you get ready to plan about prices. So planning is the most important part of the event.
And once again, just before we go, give us that telephone number, and then we're going to come back and remember. Oh, also tell them about Sunday.
Okay. Well, you can catch me here on Sunday, the
Wait,
2nd
where's
and
here?
4th.
We got folks
We're
on-
here. TV 33. I'm so sorry. I could be here. I'm here every 2nd and 4th Sunday on TV 33 at 10 a.m. And this upcoming Sunday is an hour show. It's a special 2022 event planning show. We're going to talk about how to plan every event you have in mind for the upcoming year.
Fantastic. I want to thank you very much for coming in, and we'll have to have you back again, because again, etiquette is something that my mother was very much heavy into. Sometimes folks, when you see me, say, "Oh, I didn't know that." Yeah, well, let me use the other part. But anyway, this is Talk Beat Jones Family. Remember, we're on the air every Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Of course, on Sundays, we're back on a repeat broadcast from 8 to 9. I want to thank you for being with us. And again, I want to thank my guests for coming in and being a part of the Talk Beat Jones. We'll be back shortly, right after these commercial announcements.
Have to go anywhere, because this is the Talk Beat Jones. And
Hi, this is LaWanda,
This is R.J. Watkins.
coming to you to bring you some information about the #1 detox in the nation, Lemon Burn. Lemon Burn helps to turn the fat into fit. It's for you, a happier, healthier you. Because you know healthy is the new beautiful. An all-natural way to improve your health. It promotes a healthy digestive system, attacks and reduces belly fat, as well as gives you energy. Need to get yours today. Call 313-868-6612.
Don't forget to exercise and eat right.
The environment is so friendly. Always feel like home.
We have so much support from the staff. You meet people who are like you.
I always had a passion to help others, so this is the perfect place for me.
You're not afraid to reach out.
Flora Kiwang, Cameroon.
Maklit Shunga, Ethiopia.
Javed Khan, Bangladesh.
Dennis Kerr, Bosnia and Herzegovina.
They give you what you need for the future.
Justice for Mario Willis. Truth. Facts. Evidence. Matter. Log into justiceformariowillis.com. Read for yourself.
Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick.
The virus will die.
It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer. Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine.
To keep safe and strong.
Be happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
Season's greetings from Detroit's 107.5 WGPR HD2. Radio we can see.
You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones and This is the Talk Beat.
Uh-oh. There we go. This is the Talk Beat Jones, and I am, Ooh, I hear my phone. My bell is ringing hard out there. Somebody forgot to do something. But, again, this is the Talk Beat Jones, and I am Billy E. Jones, and my eyes don't look right. Am I on the wrong camera, Tim? Oh, by the way, I want to do this. I want to take a moment to say I want to thank Flip for standing in and being here while Tim was away for a moment. And Tim, we're so happy to have our man Timmy Tim back in the saddle, handling things, pulling this horse, making sure we're running just right. But I want to again thank Flip for being here, taking care of things. He did a wonderful, wonderful job. My buddy, my friend, I learned a new buddy, Tim. But again, family, we're going to put the numbers up there, and you're going to be able to call in case there's something that you want to talk about today on the Talk Beat Jones. You're saying, where's Michelle? Michelle is a person that is doing a lot of things, and I'm just blessed during the times I'm able to bring her in, or she's able to get into the studio, or she's able to call in. Otherwise, she's not able to be here today, be with us apparently today, and that's okay. That's okay. Michelle is the co-host of the Talk Beat Jones, and whenever her time is allowed, her schedule, then we have Miss Michelle Broughton, a gem. Well, family, you know, we're wanting to get into one thing about the shootings real quick, about the shootings. I know that President Biden and Putin had the conversation, but I asked the question, what do we really know? What do we really know except They saying that Putin is putting together a whole lot of folks on the Ukraine border. Joe them is saying, don't do it. Putin is saying, yeah, tell me anything. You're going to cut off my financial whatever? Okay. Okay. So now, family, what do we really know what's going on there? What do we know what's really going on there? Is this another threat? Is this another situation where America is talking about placing some troops over in another country after we've done that consistently, and at this time in war we find it doesn't really work, except we lose our young men and women now? Not enough to have a lot of conversation about, but I do want to have this conversation real quickly, and you can join me, because I want to ask you, for all of the folks out there who are saying that Joe Biden, President Joe Biden, is not keeping his promises. Joe Biden is not doing this. He said he was going to do this for black folks. He said he was going to do that for black folks. Okay. So now you're upset. You have a right to be upset. But now you want to jump off the horse. Okay. So which horse are you going to jump on now? Which horse are you going to jump on now? Because when all of the people are saying, these Democrats are not delivering, these Democrats are not doing that, but guess what? Did you, or did the other folks put the Republicans in a position to almost dominate? A 50-50 is not really a split, because now what do you have? You have at least 2 Democrats that are using power, to what? Be disruptive. Be disruptive. And the question is, are they really closeted Republicans? Because they are the people that, as you're saying, Joe didn't deliver on this, Joe is not delivering on that. But again, you got 2 people, 2 renegades right in your own party. And with the way the American system is set up, what else can he do at this time if the other Democrats are not supporting what you say we want? I'm just confused about Americans saying he's not delivering. No, not at this point he's not, but they say he's only been there 9 months. He's only been there 9 months. And now, what? We should put him out? We should look at the people who are saying they believe in what Trump was standing for, but they saying, well, we're not going to bring Trump in to physically support us, but we are people who support Donald Trump. And you're going to continue to look at them and say, well, it's not Donald Trump. Yeah, but it's still without the head, you still got the persons there believing and working and doing the things that Donald Trump wants done. And then when we talk about the person saying about how is it that Biden's popularity is at a certain level, let's go back to the election, family. Was it a close election? Did we find we had almost 48% of the American public was almost supporting Donald Trump? So in your situation there, do you have them saying, oh yeah, now we are supporting Joe Biden? No, they are not going to support Joe Biden. So when you're looking at these popularity polls, is it really a true popularity poll? Were you ever going to take those people who are supporting Donald Trump and have them support Joe Biden? No, you are not. So don't be bamboozled about a popularity poll. You have got to stay the course. You've got to stay the course. And real quickly, you youngsters out there who are calling, setting up threats, and thinking it's okay, Well, the folks is telling you now, there's going to be consequences for your actions. There is going to be consequences for your actions. So keep calling the schools, keep making your threats, as we've had 5 students being charged, going to be charged. There's another 7 that are going to be charged. So parents, what are you going to do now? What are you going to do now with your little angel babies? I just asked the question. What are you going to do with your angel babies that you find are doing all these things? But are you watching the games that they're playing? Are you watching the headshots and how excited they are on those games that they're playing? You need to look at how popular all of these murderous games are and who's enjoying them. Not just the kids, many of you parents of students, the parents are enjoying these games too. Who's going to kill who? How to kill who? Who's going to get away with it? Well, are we ready? I'm ready. I see somebody here. So I'm going to stop. I've had my conversation. And you can call and you can talk to who? She's here. And she's ready. Are you ready?
I am ready.
You are ready.
Yes.
And who do I have with me today?
Good morning, family. This is Michelle Broden. And it's a wonderful day. It's a beautiful day.
I'm going to be quiet and let you come on back in because you've been waiting and been so kind. So this is the partnership of Talk Beat Jones. I am Billy E. Jones.
And I'm Michelle Broden. So I would like to also piggyback on what you were just sharing with the family. Mm-hmm. We have to do better. And I don't want to call out names of the games, but you know what they are. They're the military games. They are the street gang games. And you have them on your consoles. The kids say, I want this game. And many times parents don't research what the game actually entails. And so what I would tell the small children on my block, and I'm talking about 8-year-old, 9, 10-year-old, that yes, in the game you can shoot somebody and they get back up, but in real life, they do not get back up. They don't. And then a whole family is destroyed. If you're involved, you're destroyed. That's a memory that you can't erase. It's just, it's not good. But parents, again, want to be friends with their children so they don't monitor them as well as they should, or if they hear other kids are doing the same thing, doesn't mean that it's good for your child. Some things that is not appropriate to allow kids to be embarking upon. And so they're numb when they hear things in school like a school shooting. You know, they're just numb because they're used to seeing it, and that's kind of, it's sad.
Michelle, look in that camera right there. Yeah, that camera right there.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So it's sad.
Mm-hmm.
We want to protect our children. We want to make sure that we still teach them stranger danger. And now because we're up with the computer age, there's other things that we need to stranger danger, tech danger, so that our children could grow up healthy and prosper and not be involved in the hate crimes or threats, because I also heard that kids are they're online, Snapchat, Facebook, whatever platform that they're using, because I don't want to call all the names off. And it might be a joke to them, but it's not a joke because we don't know that it's a joke. And it's a sad joke to threaten to harm other people. It's time out for that. Even if you're in class and you get mad, or a child at home says, oh, I'm so mad at my parent, I wish they would die, or I'll kill you. You can't use those words anymore because we don't know that it's not idle. We understand that that's real and just a matter of time. So again, we have to keep our children close, and we need to pay attention. And as Sylvia would say, stay woke. She used to call here all the time, you know. And so sometimes we are woke, but we're still blind. we turn away from what's going on. And I'm a parent, and I'm also a grandparent. So if there's something that I don't understand, I'm not embarrassed to ask for help. I'm not embarrassed to say, well, my child might need to see a psychiatrist or a psychologist, because I know that something's not right, and I might not be trained to correct what I'm fearful of the child becoming or doing or harming themselves. And in the Black community, for some reason, our teenagers are committing suicide. Why is that?
You know, that was one thing that they're talking about now, and you can stay with that, is the fact that children, or let's stay with the children that have survived these shootings, and that's one thing I also want you to bring back. Children who have survived these assaults, these killings, etc., mentally, folks say, oh, my child survived. Oh, God, thank you. But actually, did your child survive? Michelle, you spoke on it. You can tie it in that you actually was a person as a child that was involved in a shooting at school.
Correct.
Can you give us some idea in terms of the mental state? How long did it take you to become, or have you ever still recovered from being in that setting? And for those who don't know and didn't hear, then we have a totally different audience today, potentially. Of course, it's going to be repeated broadcast on Sunday from 8 to 9. Give us an idea. Take us in a classroom where someone is coming in to shoot, and you don't know who they're going to shoot. Now, let me be quiet.
Now, as far as my experience, which was back in the 70s, of course, this would be unheard of, but it was going on because the gangs were becoming prevalent in Detroit. So again, parents are working hard on a hamster wheel, and children are left to their own devices. How kids get guns, I don't know. But anyway, it happened at my high school. And so when this happened in Oxford, it just brought back a memory I'm trying to forget, because my opinion is just me, not nobody else. We don't care enough about Black and brown children to hug them, to come save them, to mentor them when this occurs in our community, and give us the counseling and the coping skills that we need. So personally, I was a 9th grader at the time, so that's the first year in high school. Oh my God. And coming from private school to public school, it was a big old deal. But the thing is, no counselors, there was no phone call to our houses to let our parents know what had happened. The parents found out when it happened on the news. And me and my classmates, it happened in a lunchroom. So my table mates, none of us would go back into that lunchroom for that whole year. And then got our schedules changed.
Let me just ask this question. While the situation was ongoing, what was it like to be there and see or hear this actually? What was it like to be there? Not afterwards, but while it was happening. What was going through your mind, or let's stay with you. What was going through your mind as this was happening?
Well, as a child, scared, frightened, frozen. So my friends grabbed me, put us under the table, right? Because like you said, we didn't know who the guy was going after. He was able to flee. He fled, non-captured. The kids were petrified mostly, and all of us were under the table like that would save us, and couldn't really do a whole lot. Didn't know if we'd make it home that day because the shooter was outside. He was still in the area as far as we knew. So it was a scary situation. Again, at the end of the day, we all just walked back home.
Okay. So how many was it the next day, next month, next year, that you did not have thoughts of this situation and how close to death potentially you were?
Oh, it took a while, because when parents aren't notified by authority and you go home and you tell the story, especially back in the 70s, oh, that can't happen. Why are you making that story up? until they find out that's true. But again, parents are working, trying to, finance the household, and nothing was addressed. So as a young person left to my own devices, you just try to stay out the way, make sure you stay safe, and you don't become highlighted for the next event.
More than a dozen students. Can you read that, please? I
don't have my glasses on.
I can.
Yeah, I wear glasses. I'm sorry, people.
Well, the thing is that I have
and
a light.
bifocals.
I have a light that's hitting me, but I'm going to turn this way. More than a dozen students are facing charges throughout Metro Detroit, accused of making school threats and bringing guns to school at districts throughout Michigan. More than a dozen, and it's going to continue. The copycat syndrome is out. So the ones that are charged, what's going to happen to those children? Are they, because people always going to say, well, they're just children. They were 12, 13, and 14 years of age.
Well, personally, I hope that they get counseling. Again, let me throw this in here.
Please do.
We have been out of school for 18 months. So imagine if children aren't managed for over a year. They're left to their own devices. So therefore, they think it's a joke. So they need intense counseling. They need help. I don't know if prison is going to help them, but they need to be cared for in a very particular way, because they need to understand this is no longer a joke. You can't do this. And parents need to be vigilant and watch their children. That is their job. But the COVID thing has made everything so me. Nobody really cares about the community because we've been sequestered in our own homes or wherever you are. And then now you're out in the public and you don't know how to behave. I'm talking about children.
Okay. Caller, you're live.
Great rise and Dr. Talk.
We're moving right along, sir. This is Minister Malik Shabazz.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Hey, Michelle, how y'all doing?
Wonderful.
I want you to go ahead because I want to get into the insurance thing as well, Mr. Sir.
Oh, yes, sir. Well, look, I just had to tell y'all how beautiful y'all look.
Man, hold on, Malik. Hold on, Malik. You can stop. You can stop side-eyeing, giving this woman all these wonderful compliments. Okay.
Thank you, much appreciated.
Well, she does make the show, Billy. Hey, Billy,
what?
She makes the show.
Listen, the thing about it is I won't talk about your show now. And I won't talk about how it looks when somebody else come on there.
Yes, sir.
But listen, when you're telling the truth, I guess I have to be quiet, don't I?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But
y'all are bringing good information.
But let me do this.
Let
me do this,
See
Malik.
a black man and
Malik,
a black woman.
Let me do this, Malik. For the folks to understand, Malik is my best of best friend. Timmy Tim is my best of best friends. I don't have a whole lot of friends, quote, that's close. But those two. So when we talk like this, it's us having fun, because television is just television, but us as brothers. Go right ahead, Malik.
That's right. That's right. But yeah, that's all I wanted. we sent prayers.
Thank you.
Tim. We sent prayers out to Tim.
Yes.
Health-wise, and Janae, the supervisor, the Grand Poobah.
Okay.
He's doing better.
Okay, now let me do this.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you threw in Andre, that we are so happy that he is that he's getting greater, better, stronger again. One day I want to have a conversation about his situation, but right now, real quickly, because I only have so much time and I want to get this in, Malik, the person that was found recently, give me some idea that work that you had the community come out and get the tips on finding what? Help us out.
Oh, you're talking about Mother Bryant,
okay.
The 63-year-old grandmother who was beaten into life support, now hospice, and raped. 2 suspects have been apprehended. One has been formally arrested and charged, and the other, they're still investigating on him. But and they have the presumption of innocence, but allegedly it was these two. And we worked together with the Detroit Police Department, Crime Stoppers, Detroit 300, the Garveyites, Black Panthers, Martin Jones on the board of police commissioners, Teferi Brent, Negus Vu. And if I leave out any names, charge it to my head, not my heart. Captain Kyra Blackwell, who is over sex crimes now. She's only been over it a month, and this got landed in.
Is that the
in
young
her
lady?
lap.
Is that the young lady that went out and actually marched? I mean, actually patrolled or marched something?
No, that's Commander Kyra Hope.
Okay.
Commander Kyra Hope was out there Thanksgiving Day, in the rain, on the doors, with a big stick. When she does this, she grabs the biggest stick she can because the wild dogs, because she'd rather hit them than shoot them.
Wild dogs, 4 legs and 2 legs. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Amen.
Mm-hmm. Now,
Amen.
And before we go, Minister, we're going to want to have a conversation with you before Christmas. And the reason is that, like I said, flowers should be given early. And the work that you have put together, like I said, whether you have 2 people or hundreds of people, you're there doing the work. You're there putting in the time. You just don't talk about it. You get out there and put the foot on the ground, whether it's snowing, whether it's, I told you, I said, man, you're going to get sick out there doing all that stuff. It's cold. It's too hot. You're marching. And what do? I got to do it. I got to do it. And you do. So we have to honor that person. But, in fact, you can stay on the phone just for a moment. Let me ask Michelle about this. The insurance people are saying we're going to get $400 back for our cars that we insured. What do you think about that? I'll take Michelle first and Minister, you second.
My neighbors have been calling me about the same thing. And my thing is this: don't hold your breath, don't balance your budget on it. Because they had came out, it was supposed to come out at the end of the year, which would be now. Now it's not going to come out to the spring. And what you might want to be aware of, there are lobbyists right now working against this.
Are they?
Yes. He was on the news this morning talking about, oh no, we need to keep the money in case somebody gets hurt and they need the money. The fact is that they overcharged us. And that's what's happened, and we deserve a refund. However, I wouldn't wait on that, but if it comes, great. And if it doesn't come, then we have to go to Lansing again, talk to your governor, talk to your legislators, talk to your senators. This is a big issue with your Republicans. I'm just going to tell you what it is.
Oh, no, Michelle, I see this in the paper.
I
see this in the paper.
You
right
see a
here.
lot of things in the paper.
I see this.
And they never publish. They never republish a retraction. I don't care what you guys say. I'm telling you, don't make your budget on that.
What do you think, Malik?
And the numbers change too. First it was 600, now it's 400. At the end of the day, it might be $50.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm trying to tell you in advance. Do your fact checking. Y'all better be vigilant and watch this.
Well, Malik, you're connected. What do you think?
Well, excuse me, I can't say it any better than
Michelle.
What Michelle just said. Mm-hmm. We have always been overcharged.
Yes.
Egregiously. People in general, and especially black people. Insurance is one of many that rips us off. You tell me what area of activity or life where we're not ripped off. And we need to remember insurance companies were involved in the slave trade.
Oh, yes.
Our chattel enslavement, and we were enslaved.
That's
when
right.
the master cut your hand off, he got money for that.
Because we're a commodity.
So
Yeah.
So now, skipping. What about the fact that we've now got our people, the new city council folks?
This is a state issue.
That's a state issue.
Yeah.
But I know now I'm just switching over.
Okay.
And asking about now that they've been sworn in, can we expect to have something different?
I expect for it to be different. I expect them to challenge. I expect them to support for the people, for the citizens, for those that need the services to have the conditions of their life better. So I don't think they're going to be rubber stamped. I do think they're going to do their research. I think that there will be some push and pull, some give and take, and there may be compromises for the betterment of the people. That's what I'm going to say, because that's what it's about. It's about making the city of Detroit the best place in the world to live, to stay, to raise your family. That's what it's about, and I believe this council is better prepared to do that.
Malik?
Again, I agree. I think that this council is going to be more concerned with the average Detroiter, the common council, the people's council.
Correct.
I'm looking to see council, hear council, feel council. I think they will work with the mayor to make things better. And when the mayor is wrong, they will push him. They will prod him. They will call him out, and rightfully so, when he's wrong. I'm looking for this administration to stay on what I view, if you look at it analytically, not from an emotional standpoint, but this last year or two, and under COVID, we've seen a great move to the left.
Yes.
A great move to lean forward.
I got
not
40.
lean back.
I got 40 seconds.
But to lean forward. And that's part my challenge, to make sure that that continues on. The mayor promised by the December of 2022 a permanent solution to needy people, poor people, and water, as an example. We must hold him and our new council and the returns from council accountable
That's
to bring
right.
that about as an example
It's up to us
of what I'm talking
to
about.
pay attention and to keep them accountable. Absolutely. It's still up to us to do that.
Malik, your program's on the air 7 to 8 a.m. on Saturday mornings. Also, you're on the programs live yourself from 8 to 10. And then you have Dr. Confense. He's on from 11 to 12. You're on the 9:10 a.m. Superstation from 11 to 1 on Saturdays. And we love you, we appreciate you, and we respect you, and we'll be, of course, looking forward to seeing your program on Saturday. We love you, brother.
Thank you both.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you.
And you know what? I will agree, as I look at the picture, it really looks good when I have who? Michelle Broden.
Michelle Broden.
She's the host. Okay,
Thank
thank you, brother.
you.
Got to run.
All right.
All right.
And
Michelle,
as I say goodbye to the family, I want to say hello to Dad. I hear you're watching. And I'll see you next time.
your dad,
Thank you.
Your dad watching?
Your dad.
Oh, yes.
Your dad.
Yes. He's talking about Mr. Roberts. Oh,
Thank you for your support. Thank you,
Listen.
family. I hope we were informative and interesting, and talk to you next week.
But before you go, remember, we're on the air live from every Wednesday from 10 to 11, and on Sundays from 8 to 9. Now, Michelle, my dad, Big Ike, would you tell him something special, because I know he watches you?
We love you, and take care of yourself so we can keep loving on you.
We love you. Got to go. Bye now.
You wouldn't have to go anywhere, because this is the Talk Beat Jones, and I
Show.